when someone's coming to buy their wedding dress with you, it's such an intimate experience. First of all, it's really special. Secondly, I always go into the fitting rooms with the bride to help them in and out of the dress. Again, that's such an intimate and personal thing. So I do think it's nice if
Yeah.
they know who they're coming to see before that. So, my name's Kerri, and I run Bridal Indulgence, which is a boutique in Crondall. So, a lot of people haven't heard of Crondall because
I
it's
have
such
heard of
a
Crondall. Yeah.
village, but it's basically the village next to Farnham. So when I was at university, I did a foundation course in art and textiles, and then I went on to do my degree in fashion promotion and illustration. And whilst I was studying, I ended up going and working in a wedding dress shop, which unfortunately is no longer around. And I just loved it. I was there on Saturdays, and then I was doing Wednesdays as well, sort of during the holidays. And when I was there, I was sort of always thinking, oh, if this was mine, this is how I'd do it, and little things like that. And I loved it. It was my favourite job. And then I went off and did fashion, PR, and marketing for a few different brands. I was at a PR company for a while, and then kind of went in-house, which I really liked because you sort of got to know the brand a bit more. Um, but I was just kind of getting a bit fed up of it, actually. It was sort of
Okay.
it was sort of changing how you were sort of working with journalists and things, and I just wasn't really loving it. And it was actually one evening down the pub with my now husband, and I was complaining about work, and he said, "Well, if you could do anything, what would you do?" And I said, "I'd love to have my own bridal boutique." And he was like, "Well, that sounds achievable. Why don't you do it?" I'm like, "Yeah, I did."
That's fascinating. So I thought you were possibly one of those people that got married and just thought, I'm going to run a bridal boutique. That's it. You kind of you get the wedding bug, don't you? And you want to work in the industry somewhere in some creative capacity. So that's really interesting.
I know
So
I was engaged when
that's brilliant.
yeah, no, I just loved it. And obviously working in a boutique is very different to running a boutique, but you're with people that are excited and happy, so it's such just a joyful place to be in.
Kerry, from the moment I met you, and even in this conversation so far, you exude that kind of positivity that I would want to be like met with if I was walking into a boutique. It's like totally unintimidating, but it's exciting, and I can tell that you genuinely want to help a bride like find a beautiful dress for her to wear on the day. So tell me a little bit more then about the kind of dresses that you carry at Bridal Indulgence and why you've chosen those particular designers.
It's funny because we've kind of evolved really as you would over 8 years. So I sort of started off and we were sort of very much attracting sort of the bohemian style bride. So we had sort of the really relaxed, quite quirky dresses, lots of colours and things. Um, and we were becoming known for that. People were traveling quite a long way to come for our dresses. And then I always remember another boutique owner saying to me, "You have got to be aware," like she was like, "You're on the trend right now, but you've got to be aware of when that trend is about to go and start reacting." And I kind of realized, well, I would say sort of 2023, I was thinking the boho trend is on its way out. I need to make a change.
Mm.
So sort of started tweaking my assortment. And I would say we've still got sort of a few alternative quirky styles. We're definitely not, I wouldn't say we're traditional. I would say we're sort of still quite modern, quite fashion forward. But I guess I would say almost like kind of classic with a twist, is sort of how I would describe the dresses now.
So what kind of brands are you carrying?
So I originally opened with W2 by Waters,
Mm.
and
Really
then
popular brands. We love my dress brides. Yeah.
as we were sort of finding that we were attracting the more bohemian brides, it just made sense to add Willoughby to the collection. Um, and then I added Waters as well. So I had all three of Waters.
Mm.
Then I've sort of had other labels in as well, but at the moment actually it was during lockdown. We obviously all spent a lot of time on our phones. I stumbled across House of Flora and I just loved their dresses instantly.
Oh,
Um,
wow. Describe
reached
their dresses to me then. Why do you love them so much?
they're just beautiful. They've got sort of quite daring designs, some of them. And then I just think they sort of combine traditional with modern
Yeah.
really, really well. And then when you touch and feel the fabrics, they just feel incredible.
I think
So,
it's something that's underestimated until you step into a bridal gown, that feeling of beautiful silk against your skin. And I mean, it can just make you feel so incredible, can't it? And the movement and it can transform you. A well-designed dress that flatters you can literally give you so much confidence and transform you.
oh, absolutely. And when people walk in, you know, they they're or not surprised. They just love how amazing the dresses look and feel in real life. Because obviously, before they come to their appointment, they've looked at us on Instagram or on our website or on the designers' websites. But it's not the same as seeing the dresses in real life.
Yeah,
You'll see
absolutely.
details and things. So yeah, it's just it's a love. I think it's so important for people to come in. And again, they come in and see the dresses on the hangers, and until then they'll try the dress on, and again it looks different
Mm.
again. So it's so important in trying on the
That's
dresses.
so true. There's so many occasions where, like, we get a lot of information in our questionnaires when we're producing a real wedding article. And so many times the bride says, I ended up choosing a dress I never thought I'd go for. It was literally the last choice I would have made. But the boutique owner, who's obviously got the expertise, suggested I try it on. And they had that moment, that kind of, this is the one moment that people talk about. Although I
Yeah.
know that doesn't always happen, does it? I noticed on your Instagram earlier on when I was looking that sometimes that instant, this is definitely the one moment, doesn't always happen, perhaps.
No, and everyone's different, aren't they? I guess it's like if you're house hunting, isn't it? Some people will walk into a house and immediately love it. This is the house I want to live in. Other people need to go off and think. And wedding dresses and houses are such big purchases. I know, obviously, very
Big
practical,
ticket items. Yeah.
but a wedding dress is still a big ticket item. So for some people, they are a little bit more methodical and thoughtful, and they will come in and say, I know I'm not going to make a decision today. I am someone that has to go away and think about it. And that is absolutely fine. We're all different. You've got to do what's right and what's comfortable for
Yeah.
you. I would hate for someone to come in, buy a dress, and then go away thinking, oh my goodness, I should have been thinking about that more. Why did I rush into that decision and feel anxious? We want people to come in and feel confident and excited once they've decided, they're having that dress. So yeah, you've got to do what's right for you.
I love that you've said that about, you really wanting the brides to step through your doors and feel confident and excited. Because I think, unfortunately, bridal boutiques often get quite a bad rap and bad PR. I don't know why it is because, like, literally all of the bridal boutiques that I know are run by amazing women who create incredible experiences that are very empowering for brides. But there is that kind of urban myth, isn't there, that does the rounds about, oh, they're going to plonk you in this and shove all these accessories on you and make you do this and that. And so I'd like to learn a bit more from you about what you do to make the experience lovely from the moment that the bride arrives to the doors. Like, what makes Bridal Indulgence so special in that respect?
So when they arrive, they're usually wowed by firstly, the location of it because it just overlooks
It's
these
beautiful.
amazing views. And then they come in and are just wowed by the selection of dresses and just how it looks. So we always invite them to come in, they have a sit down, and we'll go and make them drinks. They can have tea, coffee, bubbly, sparkling elderflower, whatever they like. Um, and then we'll sit and have a good chat about them and their wedding and sort of where they are with their wedding dress shopping experience. And for some people, will be their first boutique. For others, they could have been to a few. So then how the appointment runs could be slightly different. Someone that's coming and hasn't got a clue, they've not tried anything, if they haven't got sort of any expectations. Some people will come in with a very specific idea, I want fitted, I want lace, I want this, I want that. Other people will come in and they're like, I've got no clue. And I'm like, it's fine. Why would you have a clue?
Exactly. I didn't have an absolute clue at all, and the dress I chose is nothing like what I would ever have imagined either. Most people don't know where they're going to start, do they? They just, it's like a complete blank canvas, like help.
Absolutely. So, we'll try different shapes and, different styles and things to help them figure out what they do and what they don't like, always as a starting point. And then, if a bride has come in and she has got a specific idea or she's been elsewhere, she might select less dresses as to try on, but, we'll adapt to the customer. Some brides want our input and they want our advice.
Yeah.
Others don't, and that's absolutely fine. We'll, as I said, we kind of adapt to the brides and sort of figure out how they're feeling about it. Some people come in very nervous as well, and we get a lot of that.
Because I think people can feel really conscious about certain areas of their body, can't they? Perhaps like their arms or their waist. So when you say you can adapt, do you actually adapt dresses if the bride would like that? So like, I don't know, adding a sleeve or making tweaks here and there that will just make her feel that bit more confident and safe in her gown, you know?
Yeah, we can, and we'll sort of try and show that during the appointments as well. It's been funny because I've had quite a few brides recently who don't like the skin there, and I'm
Yeah,
like, you need that skin because otherwise you can't move your arm, can
yeah,
you?
yeah. But I
But
think that's part of the education, and that has to come from your level of expertise, isn't it? From people who've never tried a gown of that kind on before, or anything maybe couture or whatever. They don't know unless they've tried it on and they feel and they've got you there to help advise them.
absolutely, and I have to say that is, I feel, and this is the one thing I think that kind of breaks my heart a bit in this industry is that women just put so much pressure on themselves
Yeah.
and they'll be standing there looking stunning and then they'll be like, I don't like this about me or I don't like that about me.
Yeah. It is
And
heartbreaking. It is heartbreaking. I think the media is getting better, but we're still surrounded by so many messages that say we need to look this way, we need to look that way. It's really hard to
it
literally put yourself on
is.
a pedestal and see yourself on that day and not be judgmental about yourself, isn't it? But
And I had one bride in one time, and I will never forget this. She told me that her fiance had said to her, I do not want you going on some crazy diet before our wedding. I've proposed to you, and I want you to look like you when you walk down the aisle. And I was like, that is just the sweetest thing I've
that's
ever heard.
what you want, isn't it? The whole toxic diet industry, lose weight before your wedding thing. I think you just need to feel the best version of yourself.
I think wedding dresses are so different to our everyday clothes because they then get fitted to, well, they're constructed obviously very differently, but they then get fitted to you to
Yes.
perfect fit, and it makes a huge difference.
Yeah, so it's literally a bespoke design to you, isn't it? So you might pick a design off the hanger, but that dress is tweaked and adjusted so that it's absolutely perfect for you and will flatter and boost your confidence in ways that you couldn't possibly have imagined before you step out on your wedding day in that gown.
Yeah, big responsibility.
It is. It's a huge responsibility, but I'm so in admiration of the people like yourself and your teams who take on that responsibility. And I just feel really passionate about spreading the message that there are some incredible boutiques out there, and the experience that you get from visiting a really good, reputable boutique is utterly empowering, and the way that I don't think women realize until they've been there. And honestly, as I say, referring back to the real wedding questionnaires that we get, so many women say it. They said, I wasn't looking forward to the journey. I wasn't looking forward to the whole experience of going to find my dress, but I went along with my mum or my best friend, and it was the best thing ever. And I recommend this boutique because it's just amazing. It's the same every time.
It's so nice to hear. And I have to say, another thing that we do as well is you have the boutique entirely to yourself. So there are no other brides in there as well. So, we get a lot of people that come in feeling very self-conscious, sort of, like we've said about their body hang-ups and things. So I think it's nice for brides to know they've got the space to themselves.
Yeah.
We are set back on a farm, so you'll sort of get the occasional horse rider and things going past, but that's on the main road, so you don't have people peering in the shop
Yeah.
windows. It's
A really
completely,
private, intimate moment, isn't it? With your location is perfect.
yeah.
So, before I ask you to share where brides can find you online, what's your very best advice to brides literally just starting out on this journey? Because by the time we share this, will be undoubtedly getting new visitors that have just got engaged over the Christmas and New Year period. What's your best piece of advice to them if they're literally just starting out and thinking, I need to go and find some dresses to try?
My best bit of advice would be to do your research. There are so many bridal boutiques around now, and they've got such different styles. So I just think it's really good if, it's great now because so many of the boutiques have all of their collections up on their websites. So go and have a look, because there will be some boutiques you'll go in and you'll think, I like the dresses, but it's not something that I would want to wear.
Yeah.
And that the other thing to do as well is to check the price ranges as well. It's a really key one, because there's nothing worse than going to a boutique, trying on the dresses, and then them not being within your budget. So
what's your budget? What's your price range?
So our dresses start at about 1,800 and go up to 5,500. The majority sort of sitting around the 2,500. It's the flora dresses that have the higher price ranges, but we do have the price ranges for each designer on the website as well, so people can have a little look on there. But I just think if you do your research, so you're going to a boutique that you're going to like their dresses, that the dresses work with your budget, you're going to have a much better experience. And our website, so you can find us online, it's bridalindulgence.co.uk. You can book your appointments on there as well, see all of our availability. As I said, we've got our collections, we've got every single dress that we have in the boutique is on the website, and we've got the price ranges per designer as well.
Super, super helpful. Kerri, thank you so much for taking time with me today to share some of your passion and insights and information for our brides. I'm so grateful, and I do hope that some of my dress brides book their appointments with you very, very soon.
Thank you so much.